Sabbath and start. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take your guy probably. Kadarius Toney is obviously a riser. He comes off an 80-yard game and then a 100-something-yard game. Um, there's nobody on this team to throw to, and he's there. So I mean, he's definitely startable and playable. So he's obviously all riser for me. And then another one. There's teams here that I'll get to, but right now, Dalton Schultz, he just outproduced Amari and CeeDee Lamb, and he did it pretty convincingly. He's looking like a clear top 5 option at the time position, at least in the immediate future. Maybe not like all season long, but he's been incredible. He's been a staple of the offense, and he's great. So he's a big riser for me.
Okay. Two that I'll talk about are Elijah Mitchell. We were waiting to see kind of what would happen when he was healthy and able to be the lead guy after Raheem Mostert went down. We didn't get to see it until now. We know that he is going to keep getting used. We know that San Francisco likes to run the ball. Sermon is dust. He's an afterthought. So Elijah Mitchell is a riser for me because he is moved from a question mark to a startable asset. The other riser for me would be David Njoku. You have to think that they keep running these heavy sets. Njoku's going to be athletic. He's healthy. OBJ isn't commanding the targets that we would expect. So I think Baker Mayfield has shown a propensity to use the tight end position in the past, and I think Njoku will be a beneficiary of that moving forward.
Yeah. So a couple of followers here. Brandon Ayuk is not playable, really at all right now. He had such high hopes going in the fourth round of drafts at the end of the year, but he's just not there right now. I don't know what it is, but he's not. Also, a guy that snuck up to like QB 13 at one point, Justin Fields doesn't look great. He's not running a lot, and when he's throwing, he's not throwing pretty accurately. This entire passing offense is kind of dust. So, Fields, he wasn't necessarily a riser at any point, but with Dalton coming back at some point, it's looking like we're going to have to wait a while for him to be startable in fantasy. So I'd say he's a faller. Yeah.
I have two fallers from the same game, Tennessee-Jacksonville game. Laviska Shenault is a faller. It's unfortunate. It's not his fault. It's all the coaching. There's no reason for this guy not to be getting fed, and he's not. And there's no reason to think that things are going to all of a sudden change because you can't trust Urban Meyer and their play calling. So Laviska he's a faller because he's not really trustable to be a starter. My other faller would be A.J. Brown. Although he had the target share, this team is going to continue to go through the ground. They're in a division with 3 really bad teams. The Colts lost again tonight. And Tennessee's basically running away with the division. So A.J. Brown, he'll probably have some pops here and there, but I don't know about him being a top 12 option like he was drafted to be.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate there. So really quickly, I have one a riser and a faller from the same team actually. The riser, it was obvious. Dawson Knox, he's just defying efficiency right now, scoring big touchdown, and he's just on auto start right now in a landscape of tight ends where there's like nobody to play. And then in the same game, Steph Diggs, so his whole argument for wide receiver 1 was he was going to have the biggest target share and be the most consistent. He's not a particularly efficient player in terms of yardage or touchdowns. So if he's not getting the volume, there's nothing else going for him. So until we see him getting that 10 targets a game that he was last year, you can't rank him as he was last year. So that's all I got.
I'll hit you with one last riser, and it's Alexander Madison. He is more than just a handcuff going into the season. I was thinking he was a handcuff.
Yeah.
But he instead of being like a borderline running back 2 to 3, as the starter, he's borderline RB1.
I tend to agree. Do you have anything else to say to the people out here that have stayed up with us?
Just that thank you for being here with us. We look forward to talking more football next week.
Yeah. And I hope your night was not ruined like Sticks was when Mark Andrews went off against Lamar Jackson, because that fucking sucks. Like we hate heartbreak.
That's fantasy, baby. That's what we live for.
That is fancy.
The
Hey
ups
man, I'll see you next
and
week.
the
Bring 'em
downs.
around. All
Peace.
right, my boy. See ya. What a guy he is. Stickman, the MVP.